All right. Let's see. I wasn't really planning on streaming today, but there's so much junk going on that I had to say something. So I'm if you don't know, I guess recently, yesterday, the other day, Waves announced that they were gonna go subscription only to everything. So if you bought their plugs before, even if you paid for them full price, whatever, you're pretty much screwed. They're probably good until the next update or whatever, but and who knows? If your computer could still run them, again, like what are we going to have a bunch of people still running Windows 7 again or whatever? Um, but if you look in just type in Wave subscription in Google or whatever, and you'll see a ton of these. Um, you'll see the top stories, of course, are always going to be way far behind. Waves goes subscription only. Waves, you can no longer buy Waves plugins. And then all of a sudden, kablamo, people were complaining. And hey, they listened. Okay, that's great. Waves makes U-turn on subscription only following user. Waves makes a U-turn on subscription only model following user backlash. We are genuinely sorry. The platform is bringing back the option to purchase and update perpetual Wave plugins and bundle licenses. Now, while this was going on, friend of the show, Chernobyl Studios. In fact, you should probably go down there and check them out. Oh, here's Chernobyl right here. Okay, he has a link to a spreadsheet that has like alternatives to every single Wave plugins you got. But he also announced that they victory they caved into the consumers. Give me 1 second here. Sorry. Hello, Kyler. All right, sorry. There's always something going on around here. Um, so anyway, there's your Waves update. Glenn did a thing on it too. Um, what I really wanted to talk about, and I'm hoping somebody's going to get up here on the chat with me because I'm not actually a musician, believe it or not, or I'm sure you can believe it. I'm not a musician. I'm not I don't know too much about music theory. Um, but I do understand mechanics of guitar playing and the difference. Like, I've had so many bands on stage. I've managed so many of these bands, starting from before they could even play an instrument to when they opened for stuff like the White Stripes. Okay. There's some mechanical deals that are important here. And, What I don't understand is when you talk to people about playing guitar, especially the so sophisticated types, probably the ones that believe in tone wood, um, they'll always tell you, um, it's like they're holding their nose or like they just ate a bug. They'll say bar chords. Now, I'm going to pull up Guitar Pro here, and this isn't the best way to look at it, but so here's your chord chart. I could put up a camera and you could look at my hands or whatever, but it really doesn't matter. Here is an actual bar chord. So this is your caged chord, whatever. The same chords that everybody always teaches kids when they first start playing guitar, which I don't even know is that good of an idea, but it depends on the kid, of course. But you'll see that this is the fingers right here, this big long bar. That bar is you taking your first finger and holding it down across the entire guitar neck, across all 6 strings or whatever, like it's a capo. And the other dots there are where you put your other fingers. So first fingered bar, everything. Ring finger here on the A string, pinky here on the D string, and I don't know what the hell they're doing with this one. This is a weird looking chord. What I'm usually talking about is not bar chords, but movable chords. So here's your power chord, okay? They are showing a bar here. I probably wouldn't. I like to see people on their fingertips usually, but not always. I mean, this is a case by case. But you got your finger on one single fret on one single string, your first finger. Third finger hopefully on here. Let's redo this chord here. So I'm gonna go to F, and I'm gonna change this to a ring finger, and this one I'm gonna change to pinky. Sorry. Okay, so there we go. This is more what I'd like to see. I don't know why it's not showing the fingers. I'll deal with that later. That's okay. So that's not a bar chord, okay? But even if it was, what the hell's wrong with it? Most chords that you see, so if I bring up a chord chart, chord diagram guitar. Let's pull something up. Look at might even be able to get a picture of how they're holding it. Like, see, here's your C chord right here. In fact, let me pull this up. So here's your C chord. Now, somehow this isn't a bar chord. I think because you're actually not barring anything with your finger, but the nut right here is being the bar, and you're really using your capo as your first finger, and you know, I don't know. Okay, so I have a thing about this that so many students are taught to only learn 4 frets on their guitar. Every single thing they do is on that first 4 frets, which is, it's handy if you're not really going to do that much. And if you need to change keys or whatever, you just take your capo and you move it up and down the fretboard. Fine, you know, that's cool for playing around the campfire and whatever, and you'll probably get away with, dare I say, playing Taylor Swift songs. But you know, if you're talking about these kids that want to do all this crazy high speed flying around the guitar and stuff, it's not, you don't do it with these giant 6-string chords. You also don't do it with bar chords, but it seems like people are calling things bar chords that aren't bar chords. But even when they are, I don't understand the disdain. So here's your regular caged chords, okay? You know, you're playing, 5 or 6 strings on the guitar. And you can imagine that these kind of shapes, they're different. Each shape is different than the other, and so you can't quickly. I mean, you watch super high speed hippies on hippie speed, and they can change their chords pretty fast. They're never gonna play Slayer with chords like this, okay? You can't move them fast enough. But again, they're not bar chords, so let's just do bar chords here. See if they show anything. So here's your bar chords. Again, it's not what we're talking about when we're talking about power chords. Your power chord shape, and they're not always chords because sometimes it's 2 notes or whatever. It's a dyad or whatever. Here you go. So really there's 3 shapes basically, but you're only ever going to really use 2 of them unless you're playing in drop tuning, which you're just got to get, actually then you're going to a bar, right? Because you're just dragging your finger across them. But it still works. So left-handed power chords. No. That's not what we're we're looking for. Let's look at so really this, when you're talking about a power chord, you're just talking about a root, a fifth, and an octave. So it's not really giving you the information about major or minor, which is cool about how the other chords do. But it's not how you're moving Metallica around the fretboard, for instance. What's really funny to me is that half of the teachers and videos and books out there say, oh, you shouldn't learn bar chords. That's just a cheat or easy way to do things. And the other half of them, still with disdain for bar chords, are saying you shouldn't learn them or bother with them because they're too hard to play well. Which is it, man? Either way, you guys are full of crap. Let's just watch a little bit of this. It's called Why You Should Ignore Bar Chords and Bar Chord Alternatives. Let's see where we go here.
Hey guitar enthusiasts, Lauren Bateman here, and in this video I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't be learning bar chords if you are a beginner guitar player. Long time, and there's this big rush to get into bar chords. But if you are an absolute beginner or on the beginner scale of playing guitar, I wouldn't even recommend touching bar chords. Most of my guitar students, we don't start doing bar chords until maybe 9 to 12 months into their...
All right, so basically, I think what she's going to say is, like most teachers, she's going to teach you the hippie chords, the cowboy chords, the caged chords, which are difficult to switch between. If you want to be able to play a bunch of songs right now, and you had one chord shape, and it can play any of the notes you need to play, that seems to be way, way, way more economical than the caged chords. I know it's nice to learn them because it gives you some information about major and minor thirds, and I wish I would have learned them earlier. But come on, which one you want to be? I could have kids playing in a band in a month with one chord shape, or you can take 6 months and be able to play like one song with these other chord shapes. But I'm going to speed this up 1.25, I guess, and see what you guys think. If it's too fast, I don't really want to play this whole damn video, but we'll see.
Guitar playing. Why? I'm going to tell you why. Because there's so much other stuff that you can do and work on as a guitar player to build a great foundation for learning bar chords. So, for example, I will usually teach people simpler versions of bar chords to get them by, because they do pop up in songs. You got an F major chord, you got a B minor.
Okay, okay, now take away the minor or the major of these, you got a power chord. Look, root, fifth octave, root, fifth octave, root, fifth octave. One chord. You play it all over the place. You got some starting on the E string, some starting on the A string. If you really got to show whether it's major or minor, and that's a whole nother thing. You talk to recording engineers about this now. Especially when you're playing with a lot of distortion, you probably have 2 or 3 notes at the most, usually 2, to spell out what the chord's really about. So you'd probably be better off playing thirds and stuff, but how important is the major or minor tonality to the song versus that root and that fifth? You got to ask yourself that. So for a lot of songs, it's not, but sometimes it is. But again, let's see what she says. Maybe she's going to say play power chords, in which case I agree with her, but I don't know. It really depends how they're going to define this.
An F sharp minor. And usually I'll show them 3 easy fixes for those chords so that they can at least play the songs, and I'll show those to you guys in a little bit. But what we do as a beginner is we focus on open chords first.
No, okay, see, this is where I have a problem. If you're playing open chords, you're going to be playing, you only got 4 frets on your guitar. You can say, well, I got a capo, but you still only got 4 frets on your guitar. If you got to move around more than that, you're screwed. I know you can do a hell of a lot with just 4 frets on a guitar, but still yet. Guitar's got, a good guitar has 24 frets for a reason.
Working on your C chord, your D chord, your A, and getting those down.
Yeah, see, remembering all this other crap instead of learning one chord shape. I don't know.
To the point where you have them memorized, you can play them with your eyes closed, all right, and you can switch between them with your eyes closed.
Yeah, you're never switching between them fast enough to play.
If you can't switch between a C chord and a G chord with your eyes closed, don't even attempt a bar chord. I'm telling you, you're just going to get frustrated. You'll hit a plateau point and you'll give up, and that's not the point of playing guitar. The point of playing guitar is having fun, and there's so much stuff you can learn without doing bar chords. So, for example, with students, I will focus on strumming. We'll work on doing 8th note strumming first, or 16th note strummings, syncopated things. And
You know, and look, if you're playing folk music and that's all you really want to play, whatever, learn them hippie chords, and you know, you can do a lot with them. Like I wish I knew these chords better earlier on, because I would know how to make arpeggios easier earlier on, and I'd know things about the neck that I don't know. But what I can tell you is I could move around the guitar a hell of a lot faster than you guys playing these caged chords any day.
other cool things, but or finger picking. There's so much that you can work on outside of bar chords, because there is a strength component required for bar chords.
Okay,
and a lot
so this is good. She is actually talking about physically it is difficult to really bar all 6 strings. But see, this I don't know if this is like a generational gap or something. You'll hear this bar chord snootiness from classical players of any age, or maybe jazz guys of any age, but it's mostly the older guys. Look, I'm 51 years old and I'm too young to be talking like this, but I do run into people who are younger who say this stuff. Yes, it's hard to hold that bar down across 6 strings. There's some tricks to it, but I don't recommend it. I would rather use playing some power chords or something. And guess what? I know when you guys say bar chords, you're talking about power chords too, for the most part. And I don't think you are, but I wonder if she's not. So let's see.
lot of beginners don't have it, and it's very awkward. Bar chords are very, very awkward chords, and most students don't have the finger flexibility in place to do bar chords yet, which is why I don't teach bar chords in the beginning.
Okay, so
Instead, I'll show you some of these easier forms. So for example, a very common chord that comes up is F sharp minor, okay? Well, if you can't play bar chords, how do you play an F sharp minor? Well, if you know an A major chord, all you have to do is move the A major chord down to the bottom 3
now
strings.
you gotta learn more shapes.
It's not as nice sounding as the full bar chord, but at least it's playable. So now
I like this substitution. Listen, guys. I don't know what you're going to get out of this video if you even bother watching it, but substitutions are important. And I tell you, so many times you can do things that are the same but different, if you want to put it that way. In a mix, you know, you're probably going to be better off with the thinner chord. And this is actually a really cool substitution. For beginners to learn something, hell no.
you can use it in a song. Another one is the F chord. So F chord is like this, probably one of your hardest bar chords to play because the bar happens on the 1st fret of the guitar. So oftentimes I'll show students how to play an F major 7, which is basically a scrunched up C chord. So if you have a C chord, you move your top 2 fingers down 1 string each, you got F major 7. So that's an easy way to play an F chord. Some people don't mind. They try doing a mini bar. They'll bar with the first 2 fingers, and they'll play F that way. For a beginner, I still think that can be a little bit tricky, but some people find that one.
I think she's right. For beginners, bars are hard, but I would just play that damn power chord.
Not so bad to do. But if you don't want to do any barring,
you guys don't want me to plug in my guitar and actually put the webcam on and see my belly rolls, right?
F major 7 works perfectly well. And the final one is B minor, and all you have to do is take this F major 7 shape, slide it up to the 2nd fret, and then move everything down 1 string.
Oh, see?
That's B minor.
You're going to remember all this crap when you're brand new. One thing, 1st finger, ring finger. Play it all over the damn guitar. It's the same shape. Come on.
Okay? And if you want a slightly fuller sound, if we go back to F major 7, we can add the pinky. All right, so it's the 1st finger on the 1st fret, 2nd string, 2nd finger on the 2nd fret, 3rd string, pinky on the 3rd fret of the 4th string, and then the 3rd finger.
Kind of like this one because she's almost playing a power chord, right?
The 5th string, 3rd fret. So that's another way to play F major 7. You can also move this to B minor of the bar chord. And then you can build from there. So don't jump into bar chords right away. You will get there, but make sure you got your strumming down. Make sure you got your open chords down and that you're feeling comfortable with all those chord changes before you jump into bar chords, because it's going to get crazier. It's going to get awkward. And if your open chords are awkward and you're jumping into an awkward bar chord, it's just going to be even more awkward and more frustrating. So don't let bar chords frustrate you. It's a major stopping point for a lot of guitar players. Have fun with all these open chords. There's so much stuff you can do without bar chords. Focus on that first. Focus on enjoying that, and then
I'd say there's so much fun you can do without open chords too.
jump into the bar chords. Hope you guys enjoyed this quick video.
All right. Well, anyway, yeah. If you mean actual bar chords, I'm kind of with you there. That's gonna be hard for a beginner to learn, but the snootiness against movable chords, it drives me bonkers. So anyways, I've got to go get some stuff done. I'll